Let me tell you, there was a lot of people that helped out along the way. My parents, who set up a great environment, even though they didn't have the resources to send me to college, they put an environment at home that allowed me to succeed and get good grades so that I could get financial aid and scholarships. That was much more important than writing me a tuition check. They supported me in that way. So I love talking to parents about the fact that you don't have to be, if you feel you can't pay for college, that's not the end of the road. It says there's other ways for kids to get into college if they stay in school and get good grades, and that's where they come in. The teachers that take the time to take interest in the students, and the programs like First Graduate that take the time to be a support service for the kids. Very, very important. When I blasted off into space, it was a great experience. If I could just briefly take you through that journey, it only takes 8.5 minutes to get up into space. You go from 0 to 17,500 miles an hour in 8.5 minutes. And once you're up there, you go around the Earth at that speed, rotating, going once around every 90 minutes. And then, of course, we docked to the International Space Station, spent 14 days up in space. I remember my first impression of going to space. There's 2 takeaways in space that I have. First one was when I first unbuckled my seatbelt and pushed myself to the window, doing my best Superman impersonation as I was floating, and I looked out, and we were flying over North America. I said, wow, I could see Canada, the US, Mexico. But you know what the beautiful thing was? I couldn't see where Canada ended and the US began, or where the US ended and Mexico began. And I said, my gosh, borders are human-made concepts designed to separate us, and how sad. Because from my perspective, we're just one down there. And wouldn't it be nice to have our world leaders get this same aha moment? I'll assure you that our world will be a much better place. The second thing that I saw was, I told you that we went around the world every 90 minutes, so 14 days, you do the math, it's about 217 revolutions around the world. So we had plenty of time to see sunrises and sunsets. And I remember wanting to enjoy my first space sunrise. I said, I want to just soak it in as I'm floating there on the window. And as we were going from the dark side to the light side of Earth, and the sun was coming up on the other side of the horizon of the Earth, if you waited just for the right moment, you could see the rays of our sun hit our planet, and you can see the thickness of our atmosphere. And let me tell you, it's scary thin. I became an instant tree hugger at that point. I became an instant environmentalist because what I saw was pretty thin and pretty fragile, a very delicate balance of our ecosystem. And I said, man, I think the environmentalists have it right down there, that we need to be good stewards of our environment if we're to leave this world as good or better for our kids and our grandkids. And so I promised myself every time I would get up in front of a big group of people such as yourselves, I would mention that, because we need to bring attention to that. And unfortunately, the political environment doesn't support that right now.